So just a quick disclaimer off the bat, the following video is part of a longer form video that I do every Monday. I decided to cut this part out and turn it into its own video as I thought it was an interesting section. If you want to see the full uncut video, links will be down in the description, but without further ado, here is the video. There is a couple of big stories to get into, starting with the biggest of them all, and that would be the Activision Blizzard acquisition by Xbox and Microsoft. The sale for Microsoft is obviously an important one, and it will also help Xbox tremendously when it comes to their future plans. Now, I spoke about this extensively in my previous video, so I'm not going to go over all of the details again, but Microsoft is setting themselves up for a consoleless future where they will transform from a platform to a service. When Phil Spencer says we will be the Netflix of gaming, there should be no confusion about that statement. They are trying to actually be Netflix but for games. Now, to achieve this goal, they will need games, and more importantly, they will need first-party games that will never leave and hurt their servers. This is where Activision Blizzard comes in. Owning all of those IPs will go a long way in securing content for Xbox Game Pass. Right now we know that the deal is underway, but the question is whether it will go through and when. Sony for their part has expressed their concern over the deal, but I do not believe too much will come from that and from their objection. If it does get rejected, it will be for a slew of other reasons. Right now there seems to be no real indication as to when we can expect this deal to close, but there are some who are predicting that it might still be this year. Coming to us from peer Xbox, they say analysts predicts the Activision Blizzard deal could be finalized this year. Earlier today we highlighted Michael Patch's recent appearance on Yahoo Finance Live and his suggestion that Xbox Game Pass will reach 100 million subscribers, something that I already covered and a statement that I am in full agreement with, but the article goes on to say, and the Webpass security analyst also mentioned during the discussion that he believes that the Activision Blizzard acquisition could conclude by the year end. The main potential roadblock in his opinion lies with the FTC and whether they might try to challenge the deal by October. However, he believes that there is no legal basis to do so and therefore an agreement will be reached instead. What the FTC will likely do and should do is seek an agreement with Microsoft and enter into a consent decree, not block the merger, not sue to block the merger. And the consent decree will say we are not going to raise game prices or the cost of the console. And we are obviously going to continue to support PlayStation with Activision games. If they do that, this deal sails through. And again, I do completely agree with that. Microsoft already said that they will not make Call of Duty exclusive, but I do not know if they are willing to fully commit to that in writing. Xbox already said in their statement last week when it was leaked that Sony was trying to speak out against the deal by claiming that Call of Duty is too big to replicate and that Sony for their part has been paying for content not to be released on Xbox Game Pass. They were also not just paying for their own exclusivity but actually stipulating in some of their game contracts that if you do business with them, then those games may not be released on Xbox Game Pass. Obviously, both companies have been paying for third-party exclusive content for years now, but Sony writing their contracts with developers the way that they did definitely made many feel that it was not just about securing content for themselves exclusively, but also actively trying to undercut Game Pass. Now, I do not think that things are as black and white, and I am sure that Microsoft does the same, but anyway, that is the claim from Xbox towards Sony. Now, to circle back to Xbox and them not wanting to commit fully in writing that Activision Blizzard games will not eventually be pulled from Sony comes down to leverage. As I said, Sony for years now have been going around and getting exclusive deals done and keeping them from Xbox. Final Fantasy VII Remake is the biggest one that comes to my mind because it is the game that I was the most most disappointed in that I could not play as an Xbox owner. Now, if Sony tries to pull anything like that and goes to big developers and offer to pay them for exclusive rights, Microsoft can just call them up and ask if they are sure about it. Pretty much just hold Call of Duty over their heads as leverage. You keep content from us, then we keep Call of Duty from you. It is the ultimate equalizer. Now, I would prefer that they do not do that because it is a really cheap tactic to have, and the Call of Duty game should obviously not be exclusive to Xbox. In fact, I don't think any of the Activision Blizzard games should be exclusive. But to continue with the article, Patches says that October is kind of when the FTC has to fish or cut bait, so if they don't take any action by the end of that month, he believes that Microsoft will announce that the deal is done by the end of 2022 or January 15th at the latest. Whenever this deal does close, it is already been confirmed that Microsoft want to bring as many Activision Blizzard games to Xbox Game Pass as possible, so it should include the likes of Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, and much more. Now, first of all, right now we do not know for sure when this deal will close, but most believe that it will only be done by March of 2023. Secondly, Xbox might not make any of these games exclusive, but all of the big IPs will definitely be on Xbox Game Pass the moment the deal closes, and going forward their IPs will most likely be day and date releases. Xbox is trying to build up its servers as quickly as possible so that they can protect itself from the inevitable cloud gaming takeover. Having a service with 100 or 200 million paying members will go a long way in enticing developers to use their platform when Xbox consoles eventually become blockbuster. Anyway, let's dig a little bit deeper into this acquisition and see exactly how all of this will work.